Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Friday, September 12th, day 67 in the Big Brother 27 house. And we have a new head of household. We've had someone evicted. And we still have 3 nominees happening later today, which is just crazy because we're down to 7 house guests left. And you have a head of household, and he has 6 people with him. And it's a he, by the way. That's head of household. I'm holding off on a half a second before I tell you, just for the fun of it. But, yeah, he has to pick between 6 people to nominate half of them. And knowing that it's very possible if that one of them is going to win the power veto, and then he'll have to nominate a 4th person. Over half the house has to be nominated. It's just ridiculous. For what it's worth, I have heard that this probably won't happen next year. That they're not going to do it this late into the season, but that's a year away. You know, that's, who knows what if that will really be the case, and that's talk. But I did hear from one of my sources that they probably wouldn't do it this way next year, which is just super obvious to most of us that this is dumb. I think it's Mike Bloom that I saw this morning had said something to the effect of, this is just, the head of household is a glorified immunity idol at this point, because it's just, almost everybody's up for nomination. Not quite, but you know what I mean. Okay, so let's get back to the show. Let's talk about who's nominated. Let's talk about a little bit about what happened going into, or who will be nominated, I should say. So last night's show, as I said on the late podcast I put up yesterday, it was the rope thing. I kind of gave Ashley, I was trying to give Ashley a little bit of credit, like maybe she can do this, and nah, she wasn't very fast. She wasn't fast. If you saw it, you saw that she was trying to it's the one where you have to untangle your rope and get to a box to put a key in it first. And if you saw it, she tried to go towards the box about the same time as Keanu tried to go towards the box, but she didn't have enough rope. So she was just making an effort at the last second, but she hadn't got enough rope. Although I thought Keanu got way too much rope. I thought, man, he needs to go if he's going to do it. But Keanu dominated. Will was not close at all. And so it kind of went like most people expected, like I should have expected. Keanu's a physical trainer. I mean, this he does this kind of stuff every day in his normal life. So it should be no shock that Keanu dominated this. And I don't think that the production geared it for him to dominate it. It's just the order of the way things came up. So, yeah. Keanu won. That put Ashley up against Will. They'd already decided they were getting out Will, if that's what it came down to. Remember, that's the thing that Vince had decided. Vince had told Will that he was probably going if it came down to him and Ashley. And so it was no big shock. I mean, it was still a close vote. It was 3-2. But those 3 votes were Keanu, Morgan, and Vince. Anything else? They brought out Rachel to talk to Julie before they did the blockbuster competition. They brought Julie out, brought Rachel out to talk to Julie. Rachel was over the top, excited, happy, blamed herself, smiled and laughed, and did all the right things to make up for the fact that she was gone. So really, she got as much airtime on last night's episode as if she'd still been in the house. So for the TV viewer, they saw Rachel just as much last night as they would have on a regular show, because Julie gave her a longer interview, I think, than she gave Will. I didn't time it, but it would be interesting to go back and see who got the longer interview, Rachel or Will. I think the answer would be Rachel, but I could be wrong. Rachel didn't watch Diary Room messages, which Will had to watch. And one of them I quoted, and it's me being kind of silly. splitting hairs, but Ava's farewell message said that if I win the $750,000, we'll go on that cruise, right? And now it was actually edited together too. There was a splice between if I win the $750,000 and then splice will go on that cruise. It was like, wait, like together. It was like they spliced that together. Now she probably said a bunch of things, and in addition, we'll go on that cruise. But the way they spliced it together, I'm like going like, well, gee, that to me sounds like, hey, Will, vote for me, because if you vote for me, I'll take you on a cruise. I know it shouldn't matter, and some people are like, they can do that, they just can't give them money. It's like, yeah, that's not. There's been times in the house where house guests have talked about splitting the money or helping each other out or doing things, and Big Brother has come down on them and kind of said, you can't do that. It happened. It has happened. And there's definitely been times where house guests, winners, have talked about they've done nice things for their fellow house guests. And that's all good. But blatantly saying it in a diary room message to someone who's just been evicted and who'll be voting for a winner in a couple of weeks is kind of an interesting thing, right? So, and again, splitting hairs on my part, I just was kind of surprised by it. And I needed something to type at the time, so that's what I typed. All right. So the feeds went down until it was about 1:15 in the morning when they came back Eastern time. I'm not kidding you. I had typed, well, that's it, I'm about to go to bed, when suddenly the feeds came back. And we found out that Vinny had won Head of Household. He won a phone booth type competition. Sounded like quizzes. I think they watched clips. Zingbot came into the house, did Zingbot's zings. Don't know all the zings. Ava said that Zingbot insulted her style. And there was things said about, I think Morgan was called Vinny's girlfriend as a joke. But that's being pushed as a big angle now, and it's obviously gotten way inside Morgan's head and Vinny's, and they're like, we're just friends. Look, they haven't done anything other than very long embraces that, just over the top hugs that last a long time, but they haven't done anything it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good, and they have no obviously. They seem to have no realization of that. So, sorry, it was a big cooler on the middle of the road, and I had to go around it. I was kind of distracted, like, why is that there? So the zings happened. It got in their heads. But Vinny's Head of Household. He's got to nominate 3 of the house guests. And just for those of you that can't visualize it, and I'm one of those that has to think. So he has to pick, this is who he has to pick between. Ashley, Ava, Keanu, Lauren, Morgan. That's it. Right? Oh, and Kelly. This is his 3rd Head of Household. He's nominated Kelly both times before. Seemed like a safe bet that he's going to put Kelly up again. Ava fully expects to be nominated. She calls him the Lip, and she's nominated him, right? So that was 2 of we knew that right away. Those two are going up for sure. And it is 3 nominees, as I said. So he has to come up with a 3rd. It sounds like it's going to be Keanu. That's what the word on the street is. Although, apparently, and this is stuff that happened after I did go to bed, Keanu and Morgan were pushing to get him to put up Lauren, who's never been nominated, by the way. They were trying to get him to put up Lauren. But at least for now, it doesn't sound like he's going to do it, because that's one of his number 2s, right? That would be his number 3, because he did say in the diary room he wants to have Morgan at the finals with himself. So he wants it to be him and Morgan, but he also wants Lauren, and he knows, and I think he's fairly confident that Morgan will take him to the final 2. If it's Morgan, Vince, and Lauren, I think his thinking is I'm getting to the final 2 no matter what, whether I win it or either of them wins it, and then I can beat either of them. That would be his thoughts. So Vince kind of felt out Lauren about possibly going on the block, and she pushed back, and he eventually sounded like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm putting up Keanu. And so that would be who he's putting up. Keanu, as of now, Keanu, Kelly, and Ava. And then, right? Am I right? I got to think now again. Who am I leaving out? I'm leaving out Ashley and Lauren and Morgan. Ashley, Lauren, and Morgan. Yes. Yeah, he's not going to put up Ashley. That's the one that was more possible than Lauren probably, but no, not happening. All right, so that's what's up. That's what's going on. And they've never officially said it, but have-nots do seem to be over. I did a little bit of just goofing around for a few minutes this morning. I opened up Twitter by mistake, and I saw a link, and I clicked it, kind of a thing, and I saw a discussion where someone had shown a picture of the upstairs entrance to the diary room, which is the door that is at the end of a run. It's the door that Rachel came through. But I saw it, I looked at some of the comments, and it was people asking about, why is the gym closed? Well, the gym isn't closed, and I thought the diary room was outside. I just watched it, there's a lot of newbies on Twitter asking questions. And I'm like, we don't have much of that on Blue Sky. People that have made it to Blue Sky, by and large, are pretty much old-timers at this point. At least they're fairly knowledgeable about some of the stuff. It's fine to be a new person and ask questions, but at the same time, it's like, wow, some of you folks don't know this stuff. But it is what it is. That's it. That's all I got. We're gonna call it. We're gonna call it at roughly 12:20 at this moment. That's how long I've talked. Not the time of day. It's much earlier in the day than that. But that's it. Apologies to those of you, by the way, that I'm getting this up late. Sometimes I get it recorded when I'm driving, but I don't always get it posted. It takes a few minutes to do that, and sometimes I just don't get to it as quick as I could. Hopefully today I will. We'll see. I will try to get it up as soon as I can in the morning, so you guys can listen to me do what I'm doing right now, whatever time I got it up. But I hope you're all well. I hope you have a good Friday. I would probably talk to you tomorrow to let you know for sure nominations and POV. Don't expect to talk to you later today. I can't see anything major happening, but we'll have 3 nominees. We still have the blockbuster this week, which is just insanity. I mean, because that could be right. Yeah, 4 nominees and still down to 2 people at the end. Yeah, just craziness. Okay, we're done. Goodbye. Take care. Thank you for all your support. Appreciate it. Be well.